Question 1. What type of movements are visible in animals and plants but are not related to growth? Option A, a cat running. Option B, a seed germinating. Option C, a plant stem elongating. Option D, children playing. The correct answer is option A, a cat running. Explanation. Movements like a cat running or children playing are responses to environmental stimuli and are not connected to growth, unlike movements such as seed germination, which involve growth-related changes. What is the purpose of control and coordination in living organisms? Option A, to regulate movement. Option B, to maintain balance. Option C, to respond to environmental stimuli. Option D, all of the above. The correct answer is option D, all of the above. Explanation. Control and coordination help organisms respond to environmental stimuli, maintain balance, and regulate movements to ensure survival and effective interaction with their surroundings. M3. How do plants like sunflowers respond to light? Option A, by growing towards light. Option B, by closing their flowers. Option C, by changing color. Option D, by reducing growth. The correct answer is option A, by growing towards light. Explanation. Sunflowers exhibit phototropic movement by growing towards the light source. This response is regulated by plant hormones like auxins, which help the plant optimize its access to sunlight for photosynthesis. MCQ 4. What is the main role of the human nervous system? Option A, conduct signals quickly. Option B, maintain body temperature. Option C, transport oxygen. And digest food. The correct answer is option A, conduct signals quickly. Explanation. The nervous system conducts signals quickly through neurons to help the body respond to stimuli, enabling rapid actions such as reflexes and voluntary movements for survival and adaptation. Which part of the brain is responsible for balance and posture? Option A, cerebellum. Option B, forebrain. Option C, medulla. Option D, midbrain. The correct answer is option A, cerebellum. Explanation. The cerebellum, located in the hindbrain, is responsible for maintaining body balance and posture. It ensures the precision of voluntary actions and stabilizes movements like walking and riding a bicycle. 6. How are reflex actions beneficial to organisms? Option A, they improve thinking. Option B, they enable quick responses. Option C, they reduce energy use. Option D, they avoid brain involvement. The correct answer is option B, they enable quick responses. Explanation. Reflex actions are involuntary and enable quick responses to dangerous stimuli, such as pulling a hand back from a flame, ensuring safety without the delay of conscious thought processes. What type of receptor detects smell in humans? Option A, gustatory. Olfactory. Option C, visual. Auditory. The correct answer is option B, olfactory. Explanation. Olfactory receptors, located in the nose, detect smells by sensing chemical signals in the environment, playing a key role in identifying food, danger, or other sensory stimuli. MCQ 8. How is adrenaline beneficial during stressful situations? Option A, increases heart rate. Option B, decreases breathing rate. Option C, reduces blood flow to muscles. Option D, causes drowsiness. The correct answer is option A, increases heart rate. Explanation. Adrenaline, secreted by the adrenal glands, prepares the body for fight or flight by increasing heart rate, enhancing oxygen supply to muscles, and redirecting blood flow for improved physical response. MQ 9. What is the difference between reflex and voluntary actions? Option A, reflex is faster. Option B, voluntary is automatic. Option C, reflex uses the brain more. Option D, both are equally fast. The correct answer is option A, reflex is faster. Explanation. Reflex actions are involuntary and occur faster because they bypass the brain, while voluntary actions involve conscious decision-making and are comparatively slower. How do auxins help plants bend towards light? Option A, increase growth rate. Option B, promote cell division. Option C, stimulate growth on the shaded side. Option D, reduce light absorption. The correct answer is option C, stimulate growth on the shaded side. Explanation. Auxins, synthesized at the shoot tip, move to the shaded side of the plant, promoting cell elongation on that side and causing the plant to bend towards the light, optimizing photosynthesis. MCQ 11. What is the function of the medulla in the human brain? Option A, controls emotions. Option B, regulates involuntary actions. Option C, coordinates muscle movements. Option D, processes vision. The correct answer is option B, regulates involuntary actions. Explanation. The medulla, located in the hindbrain, controls involuntary actions such as breathing, heartbeat, and blood pressure. It ensures these vital functions operate continuously and automatically to sustain life. PYQ 12. How do plants like the sensitive plant respond to touch? Option A, by folding their leaves. Option B, by growing taller. Option C, by turning towards sunlight. Option D, by dropping their flowers. The correct answer is option A, by folding their leaves. Explanation. Sensitive plants like Mimosa pudica fold their leaves in response to touch. This quick response is due to changes in water pressure within the cells and does not involve growth or specialized nervous tissue. MC 13. Which hormone is responsible for regulating blood sugar levels? Option A, insulin. Option B, adrenaline. Option C, thyroxine. Option D, testosterone. The correct answer is option A, insulin. Explanation. Insulin, secreted by the pancreas, regulates blood sugar levels by promoting glucose absorption into cells. Deficiency or lack of insulin can result in diabetes, which causes elevated blood sugar levels. MCQ 14. What is the primary role of cytokinins in plants? Option A, promote cell division. Option B, inhibit leaf fall. Option C, regulate water absorption. Option D, aid in pollination. The correct answer is option A, promote cell division. Explanation. Cytokinins are plant hormones that promote cell division, especially in areas of rapid growth like fruits and seeds. They play a crucial role in plant development and tissue repair. MCQ 15. Why is the use of iodized salt important for humans? Option A, prevents diabetes. Option B, ensures better digestion. Option C, helps in thyroid hormone synthesis. Option D, boosts immunity. The correct answer is option C, helps in thyroid hormone synthesis. Explanation. Iodized salt provides iodine, an essential element for synthesizing thyroxine hormone in the thyroid gland. Thyroxine regulates metabolism, and a deficiency of iodine can lead to goiter, characterized by a swollen neck. M16. Which part of the brain is responsible for processing sensory inputs like sight and sound? Option A, forebrain. Option B, midbrain. Option C, hindbrain. Option D, cerebellum. The correct answer is option A, forebrain. Explanation. The forebrain is the main thinking center, responsible for processing sensory inputs such as sight, sound, smell, and taste. It also integrates sensory information and coordinates voluntary actions. What is the primary role of gibberellins in plants? Option A, promote stem elongation. Option B, control water absorption. Option C, enhance flowering. Option D, inhibit seed germination. The correct answer is option A, promote stem elongation. Explanation. Gibberellins are plant hormones that promote stem elongation and growth. They play a significant role in seed germination, flowering, and overcoming dormancy in seeds and buds. 18. How does the spinal cord facilitate reflex actions? Option A, by thinking quickly. Option B, by forming reflex arcs. Option C, by interpreting sensory inputs. Option D, by controlling the brain. The correct answer is option B, by forming reflex arcs. Explanation: the spinal cord forms reflex arcs, allowing sensory inputs to connect directly to motor outputs without involving the brain. This design ensures rapid responses to stimuli, such as pulling back from a hot object. Q19. Which hormone is secreted during a fight or flight response? Option A, adrenaline. Option B, insulin. Option C, thyroxine. Option D, estrogen. The correct answer is option A, adrenaline. Explanation: adrenaline, secreted by the adrenal glands, prepares the body for fight or flight situations by increasing heart rate, redirecting blood flow to muscles, and enhancing breathing for better oxygen supply. MC20. How does abscisic acid affect plants? Option A, promotes growth. Option B, inhibits growth. Option C, encourages seed germination. Option D, enhances photosynthesis. The correct answer is option B, inhibits growth. Explanation: abscisic acid is a plant hormone that inhibits growth and induces dormancy. It helps plants respond to stress conditions, such as drought, by closing stomata to reduce water loss and delaying germination under unfavorable conditions. Q21. What triggers the release of chemicals at the synapse? Option A, electrical impulses. Option B, hormones. Option C, heat energy. Option D, sound waves. The correct answer is option A, electrical impulses. Explanation: electrical impulses traveling through the neuron trigger the release of chemicals at the synapse. These chemicals transmit signals across the synaptic gap to the next neuron or muscle cell, ensuring coordinated responses. MC22. What is the role of auxins in phototropism? Option A, inhibit growth. Stimulate cell elongation. Option C, promote leaf formation. Option D, control water loss. The correct answer is option B, stimulate cell elongation. Explanation: auxins are plant hormones that stimulate cell elongation on the shaded side of a plant, causing it to bend toward the light. This mechanism helps optimize photosynthesis by directing the plant toward its light source. C23. Which part of the human brain is responsible for voluntary actions? Option B, midbrain. Option C, hindbrain. Option D, cerebellum. The correct answer is option A, forebrain. Explanation: the forebrain is responsible for voluntary actions as it processes sensory inputs and coordinates motor outputs. It includes regions specialized for activities like thinking, decision-making, and planning movements. MC24. What happens when adrenaline is secreted into the blood? Option A, heart rate decreases. Option B, level drops. Option C, heart rate increases. Option D, breathing slows down. The correct answer is option C, heart rate increases. Explanation: adrenaline increases the heart rate, ensuring that more oxygen-rich blood reaches the muscles during stressful situations. This prepares the body for immediate action, such as fighting or escaping from danger. MC25. How do tendrils of climbing plants respond to touch? Option A, grow away from support. Option B, wrap around support. Option C, stop growing. Turn towards light. The correct answer is option B, wrap around support. Explanation: tendrils respond to touch by wrapping around the support they come into contact with. This allows climbing plants to anchor themselves and grow vertically, improving access to sunlight for photosynthesis. MC26. What is the difference between voluntary and involuntary actions? Option A, voluntary actions are faster. Option B, involuntary actions are deliberate. Option C, voluntary actions are controlled by the brain. Option D, involuntary actions involve conscious effort. The correct answer is option C, voluntary actions are controlled by the brain. Explanation: voluntary actions are consciously controlled by the brain, such as writing or talking. In contrast, involuntary actions, like heartbeat or digestion, occur without conscious control and are regulated by the midbrain and medulla. MCQ 27. What causes a reflex arc to bypass the brain? Option A, complexity of the brain. Option B, slow signal transmission. Option C, need for rapid response. Option D, lack of sensory inputs. The correct answer is option C, need for rapid response. Explanation: reflex arcs bypass the brain to allow for faster responses to stimuli. By directly connecting sensory and motor neurons in the spinal cord, reflex actions, such as pulling back from a flame, occur almost instantly. M28. Which part of the brain controls involuntary actions like breathing? Option A, cerebrum. Option B, medulla. Option C, cerebellum. Option D, pituitary gland. The correct answer is option B, medulla. Explanation: the medulla, part of the hindbrain, regulates vital involuntary actions such as breathing, heartbeat, and blood pressure. It ensures these essential functions continue without conscious effort. 29. How do hormones travel in the body? Option A, through electrical impulses. Option B, through the blood. Option C, by direct contact between cells. Option D, through the nervous system. The correct answer is option B, through the blood. Explanation: hormones are chemical messengers secreted by endocrine glands. They travel through the bloodstream to target organs, where they regulate processes like metabolism, growth, and stress responses. MC30. What is a significant function of the cerebellum? Option A, controls vision. Option B, maintains balance. Option C, processes emotions. Option D, regulates hormones. The correct answer is option B, maintains balance. Explanation: the cerebellum is responsible for maintaining body balance and coordinating voluntary movements, such as walking or riding a bicycle. It ensures smooth and precise physical actions by working with sensory inputs. MQ31. What are plant hormones responsible for regulating growth called? Option A, auxins. Option B, adrenaline. Option C, thyroxine. Option D, cytokines. The correct answer is option A, auxins. Explanation: plant hormones like auxins regulate growth by promoting cell elongation, root development, and responses to environmental stimuli. These hormones are critical for plant adaptation and survival in various conditions. MC2. Which plant hormone promotes cell division? Option A, cytokinins. Option B, gibberellins. Option C, auxins. Option D, abscisic acid. The correct answer is option A, cytokinins. Explanation: cytokinins promote cell division and are found in higher concentrations in rapidly growing areas like fruits, seeds, and young tissues. They play a key role in plant development and tissue repair processes. 33. How do neurons transmit signals? Option A, through chemical waves. Option B, through electrical impulses. Option C, by muscular contractions. Option D, by releasing enzymes. The correct answer is option B, through electrical impulses. Explanation: neurons transmit signals via electrical impulses. These impulses travel along the axon and are converted into chemical signals at the synapse, enabling communication between neurons or between neurons and muscles. MC34. What is the role of the spinal cord in reflex actions? Option A, coordinates with the brain. Option B, processes sensory inputs. Option C, forms reflex arcs. Option D, regulates blood pressure. The correct answer is option C, forms reflex arcs. Explanation: the spinal cord forms reflex arcs, enabling fast, involuntary responses to stimuli without involving the brain. This is crucial for quick reactions, such as withdrawing a hand from a hot surface. Which part of the brain controls precision, involuntary actions? Option A, cerebellum. Option B, medulla. Option C, forebrain. Option D, hypothalamus. The correct answer is option A, cerebellum. Explanation. The cerebellum is responsible for precision in voluntary actions, such as picking up a pencil or walking. It ensures smooth, coordinated movements and maintains the body's posture and balance during such activities. MC 36. What triggers the release of adrenaline in the body? Option A, fear or excitement. Option B, hunger. Option C, sleep deprivation. Option D, thirst. The correct answer is option A, fear or excitement. Explanation. Fear or excitement triggers the release of adrenaline from the adrenal glands. This hormone prepares the body for a fight or flight response by increasing heart rate, breathing, and blood flow to muscles. MC 37. How does the nervous system transmit messages to muscles? Option A, through glands. Option B, via electrical impulses. Option C, by chemical waves. Option D, through hormones. The correct answer is option B, via electrical impulses. Explanation. The nervous system transmits messages to muscles via electrical impulses. These signals travel along neurons and trigger muscle contractions, enabling actions like walking, running, or grasping objects. C38. What happens when a plant detects light? Option A, auxin moves to the light. Option B, auxin moves to the shady side. Option C, growth stops. Option D, leaves. The correct answer is option B, auxin moves to the shady side. Explanation. When a plant detects light, auxin moves to the shaded side of the plant, promoting cell elongation on that side. This causes the plant to bend toward the light, optimizing its ability to perform photosynthesis. Which endocrine gland is associated with regulating metabolism? Option A. Option B, pancreas. Option C, adrenal gland. Option D, pituitary gland. The correct answer is option A, thyroid gland. Explanation. The thyroid gland regulates metabolism by secreting thyroxine. This hormone controls the balance of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in the body, ensuring optimal energy utilization and growth. What is the role of abscisic acid in plants? Option A. Option A stimulates growth. Option B inhibits growth. Option C enhances photosynthesis. Option D promotes flowering. The correct answer is option B, inhibits growth. Abscisic acid inhibits growth and induces dormancy in seeds and buds. It helps plants respond to stress conditions, such as drought, by closing stomata to reduce water loss and delaying germination during unfavorable times. Winch Q41. Which part of the brain is responsible for interpreting sensory information? Option A, forebrain. Option B, midbrain. Option C, hindbrain. Option D, cerebellum. The correct answer is option A, forebrain. Explanation. The forebrain interprets sensory inputs from the eyes, ears, tongue, and skin. It processes this information to make decisions and coordinate voluntary actions, such as moving, speaking, or reacting to stimuli. M42. How do plants like mimosa respond to touch? Option A, by folding leaves. Option B, by increasing growth rate. Option C, by growing taller. Option D, by bending toward light. The correct answer is option A, by folding leaves. Explanation. Plants like Mimosa pudica fold their leaves quickly when touched. This rapid response is due to changes in water pressure within cells and helps protect the plant from harm or damage. MQ43. Which hormone prepares the body for emergency situations? Option A, adrenaline. Option B, insulin. Option C, thyroxine. Option D, testosterone. The correct answer is option A, adrenaline. Explanation. Adrenaline, secreted by the adrenal glands, prepares the body for emergencies by increasing heart rate, redirecting blood flow to muscles, and improving oxygen delivery for a quick response to stress or danger. EMS44. What regulates the release of hormones in the body? Option A, reflex arcs. Option B, feedback mechanisms. Option C, blood pressure. Synapses. The correct answer is option B, feedback mechanisms. Explanation. Hormone release is regulated by feedback mechanisms. For example, when blood sugar rises, the pancreas releases insulin. As sugar levels drop, insulin secretion decreases, maintaining balance in the body. 45. Which hormone promotes stem elongation in plants? Option A, auxin. Option B, gibberellin. Option C, cytokinin. Option D, abscisic acid. The correct answer is option B, gibberellin. Explanation. Gibberellins promote stem elongation, seed germination, and flowering in plants. These hormones help plants grow taller and adapt to environmental changes, playing a vital role in development and reproduction. MCQ 46. What is the function of synapses in the nervous system? Option A, join muscles directly. Option B, transmit signals chemically. Option C, generate electrical impulses. Option D, block signal transmission. The correct answer is option B, transmit signals chemically. Explanation. Synapses are gaps between neurons where chemical signals are transmitted to continue the nerve impulse. This ensures seamless communication between neurons or between neurons and muscles for coordinated responses. 47. How do hormones differ from nervous impulses in transmitting signals? Option A, they act slower. Option B, they act faster. Option C, they are transmitted electrically. Option D, they only affect the brain. The correct answer is option A, they act slower. Explanation. Hormones act slower than nervous impulses as they are chemical signals that travel through the bloodstream. Unlike electrical signals, they affect target organs persistently and can influence processes like growth and metabolism. MC 48. What causes the rapid movement of water within cells in sensitive plants? Option A, changes in auxin levels. Option B, electrical impulses. Option C, variations in water pressure. Option D, protein activation. The correct answer is option C, variations in water pressure. The rapid folding of leaves in sensitive plants such as mimosa occurs due to variations in water pressure within cells. This process does not involve specialized tissues like muscles or neurons as in animals. MC 49. Which hormone regulates carbohydrate metabolism in the body? Option A, thyroxine. Option B, insulin. Option C, adrenaline. Estrogen. The correct answer is option B, insulin. Explanation. Insulin, secreted by the pancreas, regulates carbohydrate metabolism by promoting glucose uptake by cells. This process helps maintain normal blood sugar levels and provides energy for cellular activities. MCQ 50. What happens when the spinal cord is damaged? Option A, reflex actions stop. Option B, voluntary actions stop. Option C, signals from the brain are disrupted. Option D, hormone levels drop. The correct answer is option C. Signals from the brain are disrupted. Explanation. Damage to the spinal cord disrupts communication between the brain and other parts of the body. This affects both sensory inputs and motor outputs, impairing reflex actions and voluntary movements below the injury site. M51. What is the primary function of thyroxine in the human body? Option A, regulates blood sugar. Option B, controls metabolism. Option C, stimulates growth. Option D, increases adrenaline. The correct answer is option B, controls metabolism. Explanation. Thyroxine, secreted by the thyroid gland, regulates metabolism by controlling the balance of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. It ensures energy production and proper growth and development in the body. MCQ 52. Which plant hormone inhibits growth and induces dormancy? Option A, auxin. Option B, abscisic acid. Option C, gibberellin. Option D, cytokinin. The correct answer is option B, abscisic acid. Explanation. Abscisic acid is a plant hormone that inhibits growth and induces dormancy in seeds and buds. It helps plants respond to stress by delaying germination during unfavorable conditions and closing stomata during water scarcity. C53, what enables plants to grow toward light in phototropism? Option A, hormones. Option B, electrical impulses. Option C, changes in water levels. Option D, protein synthesis. The correct answer is option A, hormones. Explanation. Hormones like auxins enable plants to grow toward light during phototropism. Auxins accumulate on the shaded side of the plant, causing cell elongation and bending toward the light source to optimize photosynthesis. MCQ 54. Which part of the nervous system includes the brain and spinal cord? Option A, central nervous system. Option B, peripheral nervous system. Option C, autonomic nervous system. Option D, endocrine system. The correct answer is option A, central nervous system. Explanation. The central nervous system, CNS, consists of the brain and spinal cord. It serves as the main control center for processing sensory inputs, decision-making, and transmitting commands to the rest of the body. MC55. What type of movement is seen in the tendrils of plants? Option A, nastic movement. Option B, geotropism, thigmotropism. Option D, phototropism. The correct answer is option C, thigmotropism. Explanation. Tendrils exhibit thigmotropism, a directional growth response to touch. When a tendril comes into contact with a support, it grows around it, allowing the plant to climb and access better light for photosynthesis. 56. What happens when blood sugar levels rise in the body? Option A, insulin is released. Option B, adrenaline is released. Option C, growth hormone is released. Option D, thyroxine is released. The correct answer is option A, insulin is released. Explanation. When blood sugar levels rise, the pancreas releases insulin to promote glucose absorption by cells. This helps regulate blood sugar levels, ensuring energy availability and preventing damage caused by high glucose levels. M57. What controls the rate of involuntary actions, such as heartbeat? Option A, brainstem. Option B, cerebellum. Option C, hypothalamus. Option D, pituitary gland. The correct answer is option A, brainstem. The brainstem, which includes the medulla, controls involuntary actions such as heartbeat and breathing. It ensures these vital functions operate continuously and automatically to sustain life. MC58. How do hormones reach their target organs? Option A, through the bloodstream, via nerve cells. Option C, by osmosis. Option D, through synapses. The correct answer is option A, through the bloodstream. Explanation. Hormones are chemical messengers secreted by endocrine glands that travel through the bloodstream to reach target organs. They regulate processes like metabolism, growth, and stress responses across the body. MC59. What is a reflex arc? Option A, a direct connection between nerves. Option B, a sensory motor loop. Option C, a hormonal feedback mechanism. Option D, a blood circulation loop. The correct answer is option B, a sensory motor loop. Explanation. A reflex arc is a sensory motor loop that allows the body to respond rapidly to stimuli. It connects sensory nerves to motor nerves via the spinal cord, bypassing the brain for quick involuntary responses like pulling back a hand. MCQ 60. Which plant hormone is responsible for promoting seed germination? Option A, auxin. Option B, gibberellin. Option C, cytokinin. Option D, abscisic acid. The correct answer is option B, gibberellin. Explanation. Gibberellins promote seed germination by breaking dormancy and stimulating the growth of embryonic tissues. They also support other processes like stem elongation and flowering, essential for plant development and reproduction. What is the function of the pituitary gland in the endocrine system? Option A, regulates digestion. Option B, controls hormone release. Option C, manages reflex actions. Option D, maintains balance. The correct answer is option B, controls hormone release. Explanation. The pituitary gland, often called the master gland, regulates the release of hormones in the body. It controls other endocrine glands, influencing growth, metabolism, and reproductive processes. MCQ 62. How do plants respond to gravity? Option A, by phototropism. Option B, by geotropism. Option C, by hydrotropism. Option D, by thigmotropism. The correct answer is option B, by geopism. Explanation. Plants exhibit geotropism as roots grow downward toward gravity, positive geotropism, and shoots grow upward against gravity, negative geotropism. This response ensures proper anchoring and access to nutrients and light. MCQ 63. Which structure in a neuron receives signals from the environment? Option axon. Option B, dendrite. Option C, synapse. Option D, cell body. The correct answer is option B, dendrite. Explanation. Dendrites are structures in neurons that receive signals from the environment or other neurons. They transmit these signals to the cell body, initiating the process of nerve impulse conduction. M64. How do chemical signals travel across a synapse? Option A, via electrical impulses. Option B, through neurotransmitters. Option C, by direct contact. Option D, through synaptic enzymes. The correct answer is option B, through neurotransmitters. Explanation. Neurotransmitters are chemicals that travel across the synapse, transmitting signals from one neuron to another or from a neuron to a muscle. This ensures efficient communication in the nervous system. MCQ 65. Which part of the brain is responsible for decision-making? Option A, midbrain. Option B, hindbrain. Option C, forebrain. Option D, cerebellum. The correct answer is option C, forebrain. Explanation. The forebrain, specifically the cerebrum, is responsible for higher-order functions like thinking, decision-making, memory, and planning. It processes sensory inputs and integrates them for voluntary actions. MCQ 66. What is the role of cytokinin in plants? Option A, promotes seed dormancy. Option stimulates cell division. Option C, regulates water loss. Option D, controls leaf fall. The correct answer is option B, stimulates cell division. Explanation. Cytokinins are plant hormones that stimulate cell division, especially in areas of active growth like fruits, seeds, and young tissues. They play a key role in plant development and tissue repair. MCQ 67. How does adrenaline affect the heart during a stressful situation? Option A, decreases heart rate. Option B, increases heart rate. Option C, maintains normal heart rate. Option D, stops heart function. The correct answer is option B, increases heart rate. Explanation. Adrenaline increases heart rate during stress, ensuring more oxygen-rich blood reaches muscles for a fight-or-flight response. This prepares the body to respond quickly to dangerous or challenging situations. M68. What happens at the neuromuscular junction? Option A, muscles create hormones. Option B, electrical signals stop. Option C, nerve signals trigger muscle movement. Option D, blood flow increases. The correct answer is option C. Nerve signals trigger muscle movement. Explanation. At the neuromuscular junction, nerve signals trigger muscle movement by releasing neurotransmitters. These chemicals initiate muscle contraction, enabling voluntary and involuntary actions. MC. Which plant hormone causes leaves to wilt during stress? Option A, auxin. Option B, abscisic acid. Option C, cytokinin. Option D, gibberellin. The correct answer is option B, abscisic acid. Explanation. Abscisic acid is a stress hormone in plants that causes leaves to wilt by closing stomata, reducing water loss during drought. It also induces dormancy and prevents germination in unfavorable conditions. 70. Why do reflex actions occur faster than voluntary actions? Option A, involve, bypass the brain. Option C, use electrical signals only. Option D, involve hormones only. The correct answer is option B, bypass the brain. Explanation: reflex actions bypass the brain by connecting sensory and motor neurons directly in the spinal cord. This shortcut ensures a faster response, protecting the body from immediate harm, such as pulling away from a hot object. 71. Which hormone is responsible for regulating growth in the human body? Option adrenaline. Option B, growth hormone. Option C, thyroxine. Option D, insulin. The correct answer is option B, growth hormone. Growth hormone, secreted by the pituitary gland, regulates overall growth and development in the human body. Its deficiency in childhood leads to dwarfism, while an excess can cause gigantism. M72. What is the role of the spinal cord in transmitting signals? Option A, processes visual inputs. Option B, connects brain to nerves. Option C, releases hormones. Option D, controls digestion. The correct answer is option B, connects brain to nerves. Explanation: the spinal cord acts as a communication pathway, connecting the brain to peripheral nerves. It transmits sensory signals to the brain and motor signals from the brain to muscles and other parts of the body. MCQ 73. How do auxins help plants during phototropism? Option A, stop root growth. Option B, promote elongation of cells on the shaded side. Option C, increase water absorption. Option D, reduce stem growth. The correct answer is option B, promote elongation of cells on the shaded side. Explanation: auxins accumulate on the shaded side of a plant during phototropism. This promotes cell elongation on that side, causing the plant to bend toward the light, which is essential for optimizing photosynthesis. X74. Which endocrine gland secretes insulin? Option A, thyroid gland. Option B, pancreas. Pituitary gland. Option D, adrenal gland. The correct answer is option B, pancreas. Explanation: insulin is secreted by the pancreas to regulate blood sugar levels. It helps cells absorb glucose from the blood, ensuring proper energy utilization and preventing harmful spikes in sugar levels. MC 75. What is the function of the midbrain? Option A, controls voluntary actions. Option B, regulates involuntary actions. Option C, maintains posture. Option D, processes auditory and visual information. The correct answer is option D, processes auditory and visual information. Explanation: the midbrain processes auditory and visual information, coordinating these sensory inputs with motor responses. It helps in activities like tracking moving objects and maintaining focus on stimuli. M76. How do plants respond to water availability? Option A, through hydrotropism. Option B, through phototropism. Option C, by producing flowers. By closing stomata. The correct answer is option A, through hydrotropism. Explanation: plants exhibit hydrotropism, where roots grow toward water sources. This response helps plants optimize water absorption, ensuring survival and proper functioning during periods of water scarcity. And then 7. Which hormone causes fight or flight responses in animals? Option A, testosterone. Option B, thyroxine. Option C, adrenaline. Option D, insulin. The correct answer is option C, adrenaline. Explanation: adrenaline secreted by the adrenal glands triggers fight or flight responses. It increases heart rate, breathing rate, and blood flow to muscles, preparing the body to respond to threats or stressful situations. M78. What role does the hindbrain play in the human body? Option A, regulates voluntary actions. Option B, controls involuntary actions. Option C, processes emotions. Option D, produces hormones. The correct answer is option B, controls involuntary actions. Explanation: the hindbrain, including the medulla and cerebellum, regulates involuntary actions like breathing and heartbeat. It also coordinates balance and posture during physical activities, such as walking or running. MQ79. Which hormone regulates the menstrual cycle in females? Option A, thyroxine. Option B, insulin. Option C, estrogen. Option D, adrenaline. The correct answer is option C, estrogen. Explanation: estrogen, secreted by the ovaries, regulates the menstrual cycle and supports the development of secondary sexual characteristics in females. It plays a vital role in reproductive health and pregnancy. MCQ80. How do neurotransmitters function at a synapse? Option A, generate electrical impulses. Option B, destroy chemical signals. Option C, transmit signals across neurons. Option D, block nerve impulses. The correct answer is option C, transmit signals across neurons. Explanation: neurotransmitters transmit signals across the synapse by converting electrical impulses into chemical signals. This process enables communication between neurons or between neurons and muscles, ensuring coordinated responses. MCQ81. What is the role of the adrenal glands in the human body? Option A, regulate blood sugar. Option B, control digestion. Option C, produce adrenaline for stress response. Option D, maintain balance. The correct answer is option C, produce adrenaline for stress response. Explanation: the adrenal glands produce adrenaline, a hormone essential for managing stress. Adrenaline prepares the body for fight or flight responses by increasing heart rate, breathing rate, and redirecting blood flow to muscles. MCQ82. How do plants exhibit geotropism? Option A, roots grow upward. Option B, roots grow downward. Option C, stems grow sideways. Option D, leaves grow toward the ground. The correct answer is option B, roots grow downward. Explanation: plants exhibit geotropism as roots grow downward toward gravity, positive geotropism, and stems grow upward against gravity, negative geotropism. This ensures proper anchoring and access to light and nutrients. MCQ83. What enables rapid responses during reflex actions? Option A, brain involvement. Option B, hormonal signals. Option C, reflex arcs in the spinal cord. Option D, muscle memory. The correct answer is option C, reflex arcs in the spinal cord. Explanation: reflex arcs in the spinal cord enable rapid responses during reflex actions by bypassing the brain. This design ensures quick reactions, such as withdrawing a hand from a hot surface, to protect the body from harm. 84. Which hormone is responsible for cell elongation in plants? Option A, auxin. Option B, gibberellin. Option C, cytokinin. Option D, abscisic acid. The correct answer is option A, auxin. Explanation: auxins are plant hormones responsible for cell elongation. They play a crucial role in phototropism, geotropism, and overall plant growth by promoting elongation on the shaded or lower sides of stems and roots. 85. What happens at the neuromuscular junction? Option A, hormones are released. Nerve impulses cause muscle contraction. Option C, water is absorbed by muscles. Option D, reflexes are activated. The correct answer is option B, nerve impulses cause muscle contraction. Explanation: at the neuromuscular junction, nerve impulses trigger the release of neurotransmitters, which stimulate muscle fibers to contract. This process allows voluntary and involuntary movements to occur efficiently. 86. Which part of the brain is responsible for maintaining body balance? Option A, midbrain. Option B, cerebellum. Option C, forebrain. Option D, hypothalamus. The correct answer is option B, cerebellum. Explanation: the cerebellum, located in the hindbrain, is responsible for maintaining balance and coordinating precise voluntary movements. It ensures smooth physical activities like walking, running, and cycling. MC87. How does insulin help regulate blood sugar levels? Option A, increases sugar production. Option B, promotes glucose absorption. Option C, converts sugar to fat. Option D, reduces sugar absorption. The correct answer is option B, promotes glucose absorption. Explanation: insulin, secreted by the pancreas, helps regulate blood sugar levels by promoting the absorption of glucose into cells. This process lowers blood sugar and provides energy for cellular activities, preventing diabetes-related issues. MCQ 88. What is the function of the medulla in the human brain? Option A, controls voluntary movements, regulates involuntary actions. Option C, processes sensory signals. Option D, produces hormones. The correct answer is option B, regulates involuntary actions. Explanation: the medulla, part of the hindbrain, regulates involuntary actions such as breathing, heartbeat, and digestion. It ensures the continuous functioning of vital processes necessary for life. MC 89. What triggers the release of thyroxine in the body? Option A, iodine in the diet. Option B, insulin secretion. Option C, physical exercise. Option D, high sugar levels. The correct answer is option A, iodine in the diet. Explanation: the thyroid gland produces thyroxine, which requires iodine for its synthesis. A diet deficient in iodine can lead to goiter, a condition characterized by swelling in the neck and disruptions in metabolism regulation. Which hormone helps plants survive drought conditions? Option A, cytokinin. Option B, abscisic acid. Option C, auxin. Option D, gibberellin. The correct answer is option B, abscisic acid. Explanation: abscisic acid helps plants survive drought by closing stomata to reduce water loss. It also induces dormancy in seeds and buds, ensuring survival during unfavorable environmental conditions. MQ 91. What is the role of the hypothalamus in hormone regulation? Option A, controls reflex actions. Option B, releases growth hormones. Option C, regulates the pituitary gland. Option D, processes sensory inputs. The correct answer is option C, regulates the pituitary gland. Explanation: the hypothalamus regulates the pituitary gland by releasing specific hormones that control the secretion of other hormones in the body, such as growth hormone and hormones for metabolism and reproduction. MCQ 92. How do neurotransmitters aid in signal transmission? Option A, block signal transmission. Option B, create electrical signals. Option C, bridge the synaptic gap. Option D, reduce nerve impulses. The correct answer is option C, bridge the synaptic gap. Explanation: neurotransmitters bridge the synaptic gap by converting electrical signals into chemical messages. These messages ensure communication between neurons or between neurons and muscles, enabling coordinated actions. Which hormone is essential for growth and repair in plants? Option A, abscisic acid. Option B, cytokinin. Option C, adrenaline. Option D, gibberellin. The correct answer is option B, cytokinin. Explanation: cytokinins promote cell division and are essential for growth and repair in plants. They are found in areas of rapid growth such as fruits, seeds, and young tissues, contributing to plant development and regeneration. What happens when the spinal cord is damaged? Option A, reflex actions stop. Option B, signals to from the brain are disrupted. Option C, hormones stop releasing. Option D, blood pressure increases. The correct answer is option B, signals to from the brain are disrupted. Explanation: when the spinal cord is damaged, communication between the brain and the body is disrupted. This affects both sensory inputs and motor outputs, potentially impairing reflexes and voluntary movements below the injury site. MCQ 95. How does adrenaline affect the body during stress? Option A, slows breathing rate. Redirects blood to muscles. Option, reduces heart rate. Option D, decreases energy levels. The correct answer is option B, redirects blood to muscles. Explanation: adrenaline, released during stress, redirects blood flow to muscles, increases heart rate, and enhances breathing. This prepares the body for fight or flight responses, enabling it to respond quickly to dangerous situations. MC 96. Which part of the brain processes sensory inputs like vision and hearing? Option A, hindbrain. Option B, midbrain. Option C, cerebellum. Option D, pituitary gland. The correct answer is option B, midbrain. Explanation: the midbrain processes sensory inputs like vision and hearing. It integrates these inputs and coordinates motor responses, enabling the body to react appropriately to visual and auditory stimuli. MCQ 97. What is the function of auxins in plant development? Option A, promote water absorption. Option B, stimulate cell elongation. Option C, inhibit seed germination. Option D, control stomatal opening. The correct answer is option B, stimulate cell elongation. Explanation: auxins are plant hormones that stimulate cell elongation, playing a crucial role in phototropism, geotropism, and overall growth. They ensure that plants grow toward light and develop properly in their environment. MQ 98. Why is iodized salt important for humans? Option A, prevents infections. Option B, promotes digestion. Option C, supports thyroid function. Option D, increases metabolism. The correct answer is option C, supports thyroid function. Explanation: iodized salt provides iodine, which is essential for the thyroid gland to produce thyroxine. Thyroxine regulates metabolism, and iodine deficiency can lead to goiter, a condition that impairs metabolic and growth processes. 99. What type of movement occurs in response to touch in sensitive plants? Option A, geotropism. Option B, thigmonasty. Option C, hydrotropism. Option D, phototropism. The correct answer is option B, thigmonasty. Explanation: sensitive plants like mimosa exhibit thigmonasty, a rapid movement in response to touch. This movement is caused by changes in water pressure within cells and helps protect the plant from harm. MCQ 100. How does the cerebellum contribute to voluntary actions? Option A, processes emotions. Option B, controls involuntary actions. Option C, maintains precision and balance. Option D, produces hormones. The correct answer is option C, maintains precision and balance. Explanation: the cerebellum ensures precision and balance in voluntary actions. It coordinates muscle movements during activities like walking, running, and writing, allowing the body to perform smooth and controlled physical tasks. And that wraps up this session of ExHubMCQs, where we break down concepts into easy-to-learn multiple-choice questions. Today, we explored control and coordination in living organisms, covering key topics like the nervous system, plant hormones, reflex actions, and endocrine regulation. From how neurons transmit signals to how plants respond to stimuli, these concepts help us understand the fascinating ways life functions. Keep practicing, stay curious, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to ExHubMCQs for more high-quality learning content. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new session. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Happy learning!